certain conversations tended to last longer than expected. But anyway, we're back with the Money Free Party. This is Nick, otherwise known as Auntie Abolisher. He does look a bit like your auntie, doesn't he? You'll find him on Facebook under that title. And also Martin here from the Money Free Party, which they're going to tell you a little bit about now. Thanks.
Hello. You can tell I don't belong to Zeitgeist, so I've got my presentation on dead trees. Okay. Before I start to tell you about the Money Free Party, I'd like to just draw your attention to this is a global trickle first, a trickle global first. It's the first time I've ever spoken in public. It's the first time the Money Free Party has ever spoken in public, but more importantly than that, it's the first time a resource-based organisation has shared a platform with a political party, and I think I want to clap to whoever organised this. Great, thank you Jamie, and you're a hard act to follow there. Okay, before I describe the function of the Money Free Party, I just want to say, I just want to bring to your attention two things that are obstacles in the way of bringing about a resource-based or money-free society. Those two things are lack of awareness and lack of trust. I'll highlight the awareness one first. If you go to any high street or you go to any housing estate and you say to somebody, do you know the British National Party? What does the BNP stand for? And 90% of the people are going to tell you what the BNP is and what the BNP stands for. In contrast, if you go to the same high street or a different high street or any housing estate and you ask the people, what is the Zeitgeist movement? What does RBE stand for? And they'll look at you and they'll go, I'm not quite sure. So the reason why people are aware of the BNP have philosophy and goals and ideals just like the Zeitgeist movement, but they use a recognisable organisational structure to promote their philosophy. And that structure is a political party, and they use the age-old tactic of canvassing their neighbourhood, putting bits of paper through the door, knocking on doors, gaining trust and gaining awareness. Now that is what the Money Free Party has been set up to do. Exactly the same as that. Go around to the estates, put bits of paper through their letterboxes, knock on the doors, gain the trust of the local communities and gain awareness from the communities of a resource-based economy. The second obstacle in our way is trust. And really, we have to start trusting each other if we're going to go forward to a shared world. So this was highlighted to me, this lack of trust, when I got together with somebody in my community and we went out to the local town, Poole in Dorset, and we asked random people if they lived in a free society where everything was free, food was free, education, healthcare was all free, would they feel that they wanted to give their time and their services for free back to the society? It's a trick question really, because anybody that says no is a meanie. And that thing of pulling your own weight within society, that thing of social pressure and social respect is one of the most motivating factors within our society. So anyway, 99% of people said yes, they would give their services, their skills, their time for free. But, and there was a big but underlying everybody, and it was this: I would give my time for free, but her over there, I'm not so sure. Him over there, I don't know. I'd give my time for free, but the other people I don't trust. Okay, and you've probably experienced this, people who have tried to promote Zeitgeist or explain it to your friends. You've explained how a resource-based economy works, and you've explained that it would rely on voluntary labour, and the people go, yeah, good idea, it's not going to happen. Okay, so there is that real obstacle of trusting each other, you know, that we're not going to take advantage of the system. On a positive note, the more people that have the desire to move forward into a resource-based society, the more trust there is between us, because it's to do with responsibility. And I think if that person wants to go forward, I want to go forward, and we start trusting each other. But the money-free party, we're not going to sort of rest on our laurels. When we have representation in a community, we will do our best to initiate sustainable community cohesive projects, such as it might be solar power, community-owned solar power stations. It might be growing free vegetables on council land. It could be anything. It would depend on the community and what the community would support. So those are two obstacles. Now I'll go to the money-free party now. We're recently registered as a political party late this summer. We came together like many social movements on social media, Facebook to be exact, and I have to admit that I was a major part in instigating the formation of the party. And it came to me after a conversation with an anonymous friend that I have on Facebook, who was a manager of a couple of groups. And he was saying to me, I can't exercise my democratic right. There's nobody I can vote for. It's terrible, blah, 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 what can we do? And let's face it, you know, we don't live in a fascist state, you know, we don't live in a one-party communist system. We have free and fair elections. And it is possible for us to actually vote out the whole system and vote a new system in. On saying that, I have to point out that the money-free party is not running in parliamentary elections. We have no focus on parliamentary elections, and in the foreseeable future, we're not going to do it. We are here just to run as councillors in local elections and to spread the awareness within the communities. Anyway, after talking to my friend on Facebook, I saw that there was space and support for a political party, and I come from the punk rock generation, and we have that philosophy: if there's something there that you want and it isn't there, sorry, if there's something you want and it's not there, then invent it yourself. So I got together a few people that I knew were interested. We started a closed group on Facebook, and we come up with the money-free party. We didn't want to make false promises. We didn't want to be unrealistic. So our manifesto is such: is to promote and win the hearts and minds where we can of a resource-based economy, money-free, resource-based society. So we are just there to promote that concept and those ideals to the people. We would like to also make a promise, another promise to the communities where we stand, but we're not quite sure we can deliver that without the help of organisations like the Zeitgeist and organisations like the Transition Town movement. Where we do have representatives within the communities, we would like to give them a sustainable, money-free plan for that area, where we would be identifying the local resources such as skill bases, production facilities, soil analysis, etc. Identifying resource surpluses and resource shortages. In that way, we can be laying down the groundwork, the practical groundwork of a transition. So that's basically what the Money-Free Party is about. And I just want to explain to you a little bit about local elections. Some of you won't understand them or even know what they are. A councillor is who's on the council in your local town or in your local borough, in your area, and he represents a ward. A ward is an area consisting of anything between 1,200 and 2,000 odd homes. And typically within that ward there will be anything between 2,000 and 5,000 voting electorate. Interesting to note that the more expensive the properties, the better represented the people who live within are at the local councils. But what's new? Inequality is rife. So typically at local elections we have a 30% turnout of people voting. That's 30% going out and vote, 70% of the people not bothering to vote. Okay, so let's just look at that 70% a minute. That 70% is not 70% of people who just don't care a damn, about society, but that 70%, some of them, a good proportion of them, do care, but they are aware that whoever they vote for is exactly the same as the other one. It doesn't make any difference who they vote for, it's just more the same. It's an unlevel playing field. That's the 70%. How much of those 70% are like that, we don't know. We hope to find out. Of the 30% that do vote, between 30 and 40% of them will vote for the winning candidate, which means the winning candidate, whether he's Labour, Liberal or Conservative, is going to get about 10% of the electoral vote to win his seat or her seat. So if the money-free party can encourage 20% of the 70% to come out and vote for them, we would have won a seat on the council. But we don't care if we win or lose, because it's a win-win situation for us, because we're out there and our aim is to promote the values and the visions of a resource-based economy. So it's a win-win-win situation. And we will win some elections. I have to go with my notes now, I've forgotten now where I was. Okay, so we're out there to win. And when we do win, okay, it's really the icing on the cake, because not only do we turn on the whole ward, or the part of the ward that's actually interested in politics, but our name goes onto the list, and the whole town or the whole borough becomes aware of the money-free party. They become aware of our ideals and our goals. So one candidate standing in one borough can turn literally 10,000 people onto the concept and the vision of a money-free, resource-based society. So it is a win-win situation. We're running a bit late, I know, so I'm going to just quickly say something about the transition, okay? Because it's a very talked about thing on social media. How can we go from here, this money-based society, to a free society? And I personally have read about 4 different transition methods, and they include sort of quite intricate fiddling around with the economy and the political system, etc. And this is very good because it means people are thinking about it. But the real transition happens in there. It happens in the mind. It's the change of mind and the change of values. And unless that transition happens, all other transitions are not possible. And it's that transition that the money-free party is 100% focused on. How long it takes, I don't know, but the longest journey starts with the first step, and we're taking that. I will introduce Martin now. He wants to say a few words, and thank you for listening to me. Bumble.